Yes, I am alive with a really powerful and potent and big conversation, so it feels in my heart. And I'm looking forward to see who is joining me live. Big welcome to you guys. Thank you for those hearts. Please say hi. And if you're watching the replay, please let me know that you are watching the replay. I'll be really curious to know who has tuned in. So how are you all feeling? What is alive in your hearts right now? What sparked the interest for you to even join me today? I would love to know. Hello, 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 you guys. So, the conversation I want to have has been inspired by a whole number of inspirational events. And for something that's just really burning in my heart right now, and I really want to invite my people into it. Hello, Mireia. Needed a Sofia dose. So cool. Yeah. Hello, hello, everyone. So, and really those calls for me, those live calls, they are so meaningful for me because I really feel a sense of family with people who are really vibing with my work, with the things I'm putting out there, with the things I'm speaking about. I feel like if you understand the language I am talking in, it's like we have a lot in common. And I really, really value that. That's really deeply meaningful for me. So I have received a whole bunch of questions from you, and you're also welcome to bring them as we go. But those questions are really interesting, and there's a lot about relationships and different relational dynamics and tapping into greater love internally, tapping into greater love just in your lives. So there's lots and lots of things that came through, but I feel that all those questions, they may be dissolved as I speak. And then if we need to address some of them in detail, we can. But this call is not so much a how-to call, how to change, shift that, how to solve this problem. But in this call, I want to invite you into a space where the questions simply fall away. Because you tap into a field, a space that is bigger than the questions. And you know how Einstein said that you cannot solve problems on the level where they were created. So that's a little bit what I'm talking about. So I will invite us all to really zoom out, and look at what comes up in the space. Okay? So are you with me? So let's go. So there is a whole topic about how daring are we in our lives? How much do you dare? How much do you allow yourself to feel? How much do you allow yourself to really be honest with the thirst of your heart? Many people, most people that we see on the planet, sooner or later really give away their true desires and their dreams for the sake of comfort, for the sake of just being an adult, or for the sake of just like having a life that other people seem to be having, and just not to be too disappointed when things don't go the way we want them to go. So then we stop desiring, then we stop listening, then we stop dreaming. As children, remember that we were all dreaming. As children, it was so normal. Like, I remember myself like completely missing the point on all the algebra classes, all the things I never had any interest in learning, and just spacing out into my own worlds and zoning out and dreaming and imagining and looking in the window and just letting my mind kind of go into all sorts of directions. So we all have that. Hey, Arsana. We all have that as children, but then it goes away. So many of you here are maybe not in a relationship right now, and you maybe really want to have a relationship. But then you may dream about, what kind of relationship you would like to have. Or maybe you don't even dream anymore. Maybe you're like, well, I just want any kind of relationship because I'm so sick and tired of being single. Or maybe you know a sense of that relationship, but that kind of person with whom you could have that just doesn't quite come into your life. And who comes into your life is also the people that you ask me some questions about. And you're like, well, it's not fully 100%, but it's okay for now. Well, he wants to have a one-night stand, and anyway, I don't have anyone better. I know it's not really how I want to be, but okay, there's nothing better than that for now, so I'll go for it. Or what do you think? You ask me, what do you think about casual sex or something? You see? Let's go deeper. What do you really want? Do you want this, or do you yearn for a person who will match you and meet you on all levels and blossom in love together with this person? Maybe you are in a relationship, and then in this relationship, at first things were amazing, but then over time, things somehow got a bit just in a casual way, a bit convenient. The spark, the erotic, sexy spark is not there, and then you ask me how to come back to the erotic spark. And then I have to ask you, do you really believe that you can be in a relationship, and in this relationship you can have erotic expansion and erotic spark and juiciness and aliveness and desire and passion? Do you believe in that? If you believe in that, but it's not really happening in your life, it's possible that somewhere you're not really trusting that it is for you. So many women say, well, the whole sex thing is just such a hassle. Like, I need to get myself to it. I need to get into the practices. I need to do the thing. Like, and yeah, I know, you may be like even having access to practices, and then you're like, oh yeah, I did this course with you. But, I know what to do, but it's just takes too much time. I'm too busy. So this is just an excuse for a belief that's underneath that. And there's a belief that maybe says, maybe you're not worthy of that. Or maybe says, it's for other people. It's for all those cool people. They are already sexy and they already have it all together. It's for them. Or maybe you have another thing. You look at the world and you're like, no one is having that. I also cannot have it. Forget it. It's not possible. Recognizable? Anybody recognizing yourself in that? Maybe there's another thing going on in your life. Maybe you I really want to be really wealthy, really, really wealthy. Or earlier in your life you were thinking that, but then you're like, no, I cannot, I don't want to do that, because all the wealthy people I know, they're all bad people. And if I will be wealthy, then there will be lots of people judging me. Or in my industry, that's not really possible. No one is really doing that. So let's leave it for just people who do some other kind of work in some other industries where it's normal to be wealthy. But in my industry, no, it's not possible. So you see, like we put those blocks, it's like we put those sticks into the wheels of our carriers, yeah, just by blocking the original impulse that was there. And there are many, many more. Yeah, there's another one that says, look, I cannot be in a relationship and at the same time be successful. It's like either or. Either I work and I really do the thing and I get really successful, or I have a relationship. Yeah, maybe there is something like that. And then you're like, wow, why when I'm in a relationship it's not really working? I think I need to be single to be able to be creative and to be in my flow and to be in my success. I think that's how it works. But in a relationship, no. So we block ourselves a lot. And then we settle very easily in life. We settle for way less than our hearts are really yearning for. And there is such a beautiful thing about those true desires before we judge them. There is an incredible beauty in the simple desires that emerge from someone. You may even be surprised, like, wow, I didn't even know I wanted that. But there is a beauty in all the desires. And the desire that also kind of, you may numb it and you may not feel it for a while, maybe for years, but then it comes back and you may go like, oh yeah, I remember when I was younger, I was so passionate about this. I really wanted to travel, to explore the world. I really wanted to create something. I really wanted to see the world, to learn languages, to just create amazing environments around me, or anything. Yeah, you might go like, oh yeah, I remember at some point I really wanted that, but somehow, life happened and it's just gone. Or yeah, I remember I was really interested in eroticism and sexuality. I really wanted to explore that. I was really called into that, but somehow it's like it's not really compatible with my life. It's like you need to be an adult, you need to take care of things, you have kids to take care of, to look after, and you have this and that. So we block ourselves again and again and again because we are looking for evidence in the world, and we want to see, and we can look for evidence of things that work, or we can also look for evidence of things that don't work and the reasons why those things won't work for us. So I can share with you my story, where I remember having this idea of wanting to create an amazing experience where I would feel that I've created a space where I invite people to come in and to just be together, do practices together, and through that, remember how wise we are. Remember how naturally intelligent we are. Remember how we have all the answers inside of us. So I remember having this desire. And then I ended up in a prolonged meditation retreat. So I was doing 8 hours of meditation every single day for 8 months. I was there. It was in the desert in California, in the States. So I was in that retreat, and everyone around me was a meditator. So we were all practicing full on. And then somehow, in the middle of that, because I was going into deep meditative states, and then I got this spark. I was like, wow, I want to create this experience where we do very different practices to what we are doing now, because it was all sitting in stillness, being in the environment of the desert, repetitive things every single day, doing the same thing. But I felt like I really want to create a different kind of environment. I want to create an environment which is really alive, which is really juicy. And at the time, then I wanted to create it only for women. And I was like, ooh, and I really felt that name also somehow it landed for me. I called it Sacred Feminine Immersion. I was like, ooh, for 3 weeks, I'll gather women and we will do this. And we will be together, we will be nurtured in the space, we will do practices that really take us into our bodies, we will take we will create profound friendships and connections, and I will be guiding people into just the journey of connecting deep into their own hearts. And I had experience of running shorter events at that time, but I was just starting, so it was 2013. And I just got this idea, like, okay, let's do like a really long thing for 3 weeks. So I then was like, okay, how do I make it happen? I want to create this event. I wanted to have 12 people. That was my idea. And then I reached out to my friend who was already doing workshops and events all over, like I think in Australia he was working and gathering people from different places. And I reached out and I said, hey, I have this idea. So I've never done anything like this. I only worked in the location where I lived. I lived in Thailand at the time. So how do I make it happen? Teach me everything you know from about marketing, about anything. Just tell me, what can I do? And he was like, look, I understand you have this idea, but do you really think, like, nobody knows you? Like, you're not on social media even, like, nobody knows anything about you. You just, like, okay, you had, like, some students when you were teaching yoga and meditation in the school where we studied, but, like, you don't, like, nobody knows you. And now you're expecting you're just gonna put this thing out there and people will just sign up. And I was like, wow, you're right. Like, it's probably not gonna happen. It's probably just I'm too crazy. It's just I'm too naive or something. I'm just too wild with my ideas and so on. And then I just got into this flow. I researched about what you can do. I created a newsletter. I started my Facebook page. I made a poster. I got some people who were close to the location where I was doing this event. I got them to put the poster on the walls in some places where it was appropriate. And basically, in half a year from that conversation, I had my retreat with 12 people in India for 3 weeks long, and it all happened. How? Like, how is that possible? It seemed completely impossible. But I trusted. I just trusted. I trusted, and even though I was busy all day long, I would take my meals and go work in front of my computer and just create the stuff that I could create at the time. I create a landing page, the website where everything is written, and everything. So it was completely impossible. But then, by trusting in it, it happened. Yeah, then I also had ideas that later, okay, I've already had a business, but I felt I was looking at my relationships and I was seeing that always when I would be in a relationship, I would be less productive. I would be just too busy, carried on into our relational dynamics, and then I would see that actually when I was single, I was far more creative and I had all this energy to put into my work, into creativity. But when in relationships, it seemed like it was kind of slowing me down. So I developed this idea like, oh, okay, maybe you need to be single to actually be successful. Then I had some other ideas. I had the idea that I cannot be more successful than my man. Yeah, that actually in a relationship, a woman should be less successful than a man because I don't know why. So then I had more ideas then that in the personal development field, in the spirituality field, you cannot be wildly successful because it's just you have to have like lots and lots of team members, like maybe 20, 30 team members, and then everyone is really doing their thing in their department, and in every department you have this and that. I thought that's how you become really successful, like in a spiritual business that is really based on the heart and the values of the heart, that really like based on alignment. I felt no, that's not possible. Why is that? And then something happened. So something really big happened for me in my business. And I found out just a few days ago, and I will share with you. But the important thing is that somewhere I remember this capacity to dream, this capacity to dream big, the capacity to desire, to feel that you can have it all, that I can have it all, that I can have an amazing relationship, an amazing sex life, an amazing business, and incredible wealth, and surrounded by people who I adore, and having my clients and my students that I love to spend my time with. It doesn't have to be difficult, that I don't have to spend lots of time even working during the day. Somewhere I trusted, somewhere I felt this, and even though I had all those beliefs and all those ideas, so because of all this, I have proven lots wrong, lots of those limiting ideas wrong, because right now something incredible happened in my business, and we just crossed $1 million in revenue for this year in this business. In the business that is dedicated in service to love, in the business that is dedicated to really bring the highest human potential here on this planet, to really, like, my vision is like, my desire is to really bring love here. And this business just generated over $1 million just this year, while I'm having an amazing relationship and a beautiful erotic meeting in that relationship. And I don't work so much, and I am fully creative while being in a relationship. And this is possible. How? Like, wow. I was so mind blown that this is possible. And for that, I just had to allow myself to be bigger than my fears, to be bigger than all those ideas that were stopping me from that. All those ideas that you need to be in a certain industry, or no, it's not possible here, or no, I'm too young for it, I would say, or like I can say I'm too old for it, like whatever. All this is nonsense. Thank you so much for celebrating this with me. So, like, what that means, it's not even about this number is very symbolic, yeah, but it's like, what that means is that we can do it. We can be people anchored in the hearts with businesses that are based on empowerment of everyone in my team, of like I'm inviting my team into experiences where I'm really encouraging leaders to rise, to become your own leader, to really be so honest with yourself and really look for your alignment, not for things that just other people do, because that's how businesses are done. And we're doing this together with my team, and I am touching so many beautiful people on this planet, and people who in turn also touch their environments. And such a business can generate $1 million and more and more and more. So that's been huge win. And what I want to say is just, this is a big invitation to every one of you who is here right now, and who is watching the replay, to dare to ask this question, like, what is the most that can happen? What if all your desires can actually come true, and even way bigger than what you desire? What if you can have an amazing life and feel amazing in your body, feel amazing about yourself, feel amazing in your life, feel deeply in love, and be incredibly successful? What if all of that was really possible? How would you behave then? How would you live your life then if you knew that you are becoming just by paying attention to what you're thinking, to what you're believing in, to what feelings you allow in your life? What if you really believe that you are becoming all that you want to be? And even more than that. Even more than that. So, of course, you can say, like, oh, well, this is possible for you because you're young, because you are slim, because you are Russian, because you have hair like this, because you are this. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it like this. So it's not possible for me. I cannot do it. Or you can go like, wow, she's a woman, like a normal human being. I am just like her. Okay, she's a woman, I'm a man, I'm a woman. Doesn't matter. Like, if someone can have it, this can be your portal into seeing that this is possible, that the impossible things that seem to be impossible, they are possible. And to touch the capacity to open to it all, I see that a profound portal to that is the erotic heart. I've been writing a bit about this lately. And when I speak about the erotic heart, I speak about this depth of devotion, the depth of yearning to open and feel and be deeply, deeply alive with everything that is there. It takes so much courage because it's so much easier to just disconnect us. Hello, Ria. To disconnect ourselves from potential to feel pain. But what if we allow that yearning heart that just always yearns for more and always and always and always, and no matter how much you actually... I just lost my thought. No matter how much you actually have, and no matter how you receive things that you desire, things that you never dare to desire, and then they come to you, still staying in that rawness of the heart and allow yourself to yearn and feel the desire for more and more and more. And to not think that this is a must. Okay, it needs to happen now by 10 p.m. Or it needs to happen this month, it needs to happen this year. It's not about this. It's about stretching the capacity to feel, to be alive, how much life there is available for us. People, don't give up on life. I know this place very, very well, this place where you feel like, okay, well, my life is done, I've already done all the good things, I've already studied all the right things. I was in that place not that long ago. I was like, well, what else is there to surprise me in life? And then we become bitter, and then this is a protection mechanism, a protection from our greatness, a protection from becoming bigger, for having something extraordinary, for experiencing the potential that this life has. Because incredible relationship, incredible sex life, incredible wealth, incredible success, they are not only about that. They are not just accumulating wealth, accumulating money, holding on to money. Not like, okay, I have my relationship now, it's good, it's nice now. Okay, we know how to practice all those techniques and in sexuality and be cool with those techniques. It's not about this. It's not about this. It's about the human potential. It's about tasting everything that this life has to offer and being thrilled by the discovery and continuous discovery. And there's so much to discover in this life. Every day you can discover more about yourself. Every day you can discover more about life. It is amazing. Life is full of miracles. But we need to choose to be available to those miracles. We need to choose to be available for that great, magnificent potential that is accessible to every one of us. It's our birthright. That's why we came here. Do you really think the supreme intelligence of the universe would have put you here, and your incredibly intelligent soul would have chosen to be here just for a mediocre, normal life? Okay, I'll just go with this relationship, although it's not really, I don't feel seen there, I don't feel like it's fulfilling me, I don't feel like it's a match for me. Do you think that's what you came here for? Oh, okay, those people, they want to have casual sex, or anyway, I don't have anything better, so let's just go with life. Do you think you were sent here for this? Or do you know that you are yearning for something extraordinary, extraordinary love, extraordinary romance, extraordinary connection to yourself, to your body, to spirit, extraordinary beauty in your environment? Abundance, life of abundance. Do you think you came here for that? Tell me in the comments here. Did you come here for this, or did you come here for anything less than that? It's your choice, like really, it boils down to a choice. It is so amazing that we have this human potential. So everything is inside of that potential. It's like a seed that contains everything. And it's up to us how much of it we utilize. It's up to us, people. There's no curse. There is no any kind of generational trauma that will keep you stuck. There is no bad karma that will keep you stuck forever and ever and ever in this miserable place. There is nothing like that. There's just choice. There's just choice. Yes, I can feel this potential. I choose my highest potential. Exactly, that's the attitude. And don't be discouraged when things don't go exactly the way you planned. And even setting goals and so on, it's too small for the human potential. You can play with goals, you can plan your day and plan what you're gonna do and all these things, but it's even bigger than that. To be attuned with your potential, it's beyond the karma, it's beyond the trauma. Of course, I'm not saying that it just comes like this. Yeah, you do the work, but you remember that the work is part of the thing, that the work is part of that journey into the potential. It's not the work for the sake of work and then you keep healing yourself and you're like, oh my God, there's endless healing and I'll forever be healing myself, and there's a healing more and healing some more and a bit more and also healing everyone around you. It's not about this. This soul is already whole, is pure potential. There's everything, anything is possible. You are an incredible being. You came here for incredible things. Just remember this. Just remember this. It's all possible. And even more. Just remember this. And you might go like, oh, but how? But what? What are the steps? The moment you ask those questions, you lose touch with that feeling of potential. The feeling of what is really possible in this human incarnation. So, the erotic heart is something that I see as a portal into that. And that's something that we are starting to work with very intensively with my people who come. So I have an event called Fire of Love that is coming later this month. It starts on the 20th of this month in Spain. And we are going to go very deep into the exploration of this human potential as love. The question I'm holding for this training is like, how can we really become conduits for love? Really? How would we really behave if we were here for love? How would we look at the world? how would we interact with the world? How would the world interact with us if we were really holding our highest frequency at all times? So the fire of love is a beautiful way to come in and work with me if you feel it. I have another event coming, which is very short, and it's possible to plug into the field through this event. It's happening on Thursday, and all my Fire of Love people are coming there. And I also open the invitation to all of you, to anyone who wants to get a taste of how it is to journey into the erotic heart. So this event is happening on Thursday. It's possible to join us. So I will speak a bit more about those events in a bit. So if you feel like you've got what you needed from this live, if you've resonated, just please let me know how that landed for you. If you have any question about what I've just spoken, I can address those. And then I will speak about those two events that are coming up. And if you want to hear about that, you're welcome to stick around. So, tell me. And I got all those questions about what are the 3 musts for a healthy relationship? What are the things to do for you know it, you know it deep inside of you. You know what kind of relationship you want. What are your 3 musts? What are your 53 musts? You know it, and you know that you can have it. Remember it. Mirai, I'm so happy. Yeah, or then the question, how do you master living together with your beloved and maintaining the erotic spark? Because I choose so. Because I choose that this is possible in my life. And then I arrange my day in a way that this is possible. Then I prioritize the practices that make it possible. We live in those incredible times. I keep repeating it. There's so much, we have access to pretty much anything in these times. We have internet. We can go to trainings. We can learn tools. Everything is accessible to us. So, yeah, use what you have. Use the tools. Connect with people who you feel that they can support your journey. And just know that you can have what you want. And then from there, what is the next step? What is the next step? What will empower me? What will support me? Okay, Agnes saying, thank you so much for plugging me back into this. Yes, I'm so happy you came. I was very discouraged by the sense I'm too fucked up to attain my desires. And then there's Mercury retrograde. Even Mercury retrograde, even the whole social media world being off for 7 hours, which also brought some people into panic. None of those things mean anything. And even your ideas, I need to heal myself, I'm too messed up, I'm too this, I'm too that. It's your choice. It's your choice if you want to believe into it or not. Yeah, and then you can go okay, I'm a human being. I'm meant to be messed up. I will stay messed up my whole entire life. Hello, here's a moment of truth. You will stay messed up your whole entire life, just like me, just like everybody on this planet. Everybody, really. It's we will never be completely healed. Don't worry about this. But we can choose to take responsibility for our wounds, for our past, for our patterns. And then you go okay, this is my pattern. I recognize it. I see that I have a tendency to react in this way. And guess what? I can take a breath and check what is the correct reaction, not a reaction from my patterns. Yeah, so this, alternatively, you can get into the endless healing and heal yourself endlessly and just feel that there's so much more to heal and more. And if you heal something and then another layer comes in and you heal that and then So, it's a bit dangerous. Yeah. So I'm all for therapy. Therapy really helped me understand myself, and understand my patterns and understand my wounds, and yeah, really decharge a lot of things. And at the same time, if we use it as a crouch, as something we cannot be without, as something without which we cannot attain what we came here to attain, it becomes a disservice. So, someone asked if you... Beautiful, thank you. So, Randa is asking, so you don't heal? Well, you heal some things, and then there are more things. Yeah, and there are more things, and then you discover more things, and then you discover ancestral things, and then there is so much. So you cannot heal everything. That's the thing. Yeah, you cannot heal everything. So many people need to hear this. You are so welcome to share. I'll save this live, and I can spread it. Okay, so yeah, mainly more. There are more questions, but I really feel I've answered them all when you really put yourself in a different place and you zoom out from the problems. Yeah, and then you say, my heart feels blocked. My heart feels, but it's your choice. Blocked from where? And who is blocking it? If you understand that you create your reality, with how you treat yourself, with how you speak to yourself, with what are you thinking, you understand that we are always manifesting, like always. Every moment we are manifesting something. You're manifesting by thinking your thoughts and by indulging into your feelings and by thinking this way or that way about yourself and about your life. If you're constantly going through life and going, I'm so messed up, well, you will get proof, yes. Then you look at your life, yeah, my life is so messed up. Well, what was your mantra the last 3 years? I'm so messed up, I need to heal, no one likes me, I'm a bad person. You get proof of that. If you alter that, if you go like, I am an amazing being, there's a whole life for me. What is the potential? What can I taste? What can I discover? What kind of magic I can create? What kind of world I want to live in? How can I contribute to creating this world? First of all, by how can I be the person who creates this world I want to live in? Yeah. So don't believe those thoughts. Don't believe those thoughts. They are just thoughts. They come and they go. So I want to share with you a couple of opportunities we have now to connect and be together. So if you're complete, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to share this live. Please, stay connected. Stay in my world, please. It really is a joy to speak about this and be heard and have a conversation with people who actually understand this language. And I will speak about those events. So the first one that's coming just now is the Erotic Heart ritual. So it's happening on Thursday, and it's a guided journey. I will be guiding this whole journey. It's not a masterclass, so there won't be so much information, but it will, I'll give a bit of information and context in the beginning, and then it will be all guided. So you will be experiencing your journey into the erotic heart. Thank you, Sana. So that we'll be riding the impulse of the new moon, and it's a really beautiful time to really carry a new impulse for your life. So if you've been resonating with what I'm talking about here and you really want to, you're so welcome, you really want to anchor into that, it's really beautiful to go into the ritual really holding that and asking your spirit to show you how. Yeah, and to connect so deep within that you know, you start to see, you start to feel, and you start to, most importantly, trust. So the erotic heart ritual will be dedicated to that, actually, to really, really extend into your fullness as love. And then if you are in a relationship, you will do it together as a couple. And then it's super powerful to do it together as a couple. It's amazing because you really create a space. The two of you, you have like a third emerging and going in like this into the space. I will be bringing you into, wow, huge, will be amazing for couples. If you don't have a partner, but you want to attract a partner, that's also really perfect because you can invite your future partner into the space. So it will be magic, real magic. I am so excited. As I said, I am in this real incredible moment of my life with this incredible things just happening, and I have so much to give right now, and I am overflowing with how much I have to give, and so happy to hold this for you guys. So it's happening on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central European Time. You can find the link to join in my bio. It costs $222 for 2 hours, 22 minutes. So we also have some special magic going on with how I prepared it and how I'll be guiding you through it. If your husband cannot do it with you, no worries. He will feel your vibes and he will get curious. What did you do? And maybe he will want to do the replay with you because you guys will also have the replay available for 2 weeks. So the price will increase though. So if you feel it, better join as soon as possible. The price will increase on Wednesday evening. So tomorrow late night, the price will change. So it will increase. So if you feel it, welcome to join. And then we have another bigger space that opens on the 20th of October and it lasts 7 days. It's a training called Fire of Love. So it's an in-person training. So we're meeting in the physical reality, which I've been missing so much. The latest training I ran in July, and it feels like way too long because since then I've been doing online things only. So we're meeting in flesh, in physical, in a gorgeous, gorgeous location, in a really, really beautiful space, like full of fruit trees and everything. Don't expect amazing accommodation, okay? Just don't expect that. That's not why you're coming to this training. But we will have a powerful journey where we are spending together basically all day. It's like from 8 a.m. until like 9:30, sometimes even longer. We are together the whole day, and you are in this cauldron, in this fiery space of love, where all parts of you are. Oh, Oliver, yes, he will be there with me. Where all of you is welcome in this temple. Like all parts of you, the parts of you that you don't like, and the parts of you that feel like messed up and need some healing and needs to be changed, those parts are also welcome. Parts of you that you are too scared to see because they're so big, you are overwhelmed by them, they are also welcome. So all of you is welcome into the temple, and we will journey in a really profound exploration of love. And we will see the blocks that you've put against love, it's inevitable. And you will learn how to work with them. You will know how to recognize patterns and to hold those patterns and hold them in kindness. You don't need to bash yourself anymore. You don't need to be mean to yourself. Because if you are mean to yourself, let's face it, you will attract meanness around you, meanness in the world. We're constantly manifesting, constantly. So then we will work on ourselves and amplifying love inside and amplifying love in a relationship, current or future, and therefore amplifying love on this planet, in this world. This is my grand vision. I want to serve love here. I want to bring love here. on this plane of existence. I want to see the world full of love. I want us all to remember ourselves as love. And this is a grand, grand vision, and at the same time, I'm holding it and I see it happening around me. So when we are together as a big group like this, like we will be, also online, it's beautiful, but in physical space, it's really special, it's really magical. So when we are like this together, united in that thirst of the heart, the thirst of the erotic heart, because the erotic heart means that it includes all of life. We don't deny any aspect of our incarnation. We don't deny sexual energy. We don't deny relationships. We don't deny desires. We don't deny desire for abundance and wealth. All of that is welcome. And we take it all and we turn it into something that serves love and that amplifies love. And we bring so much clarity and so much purity that the world just can't help but change. So I truly believe that each and every one of us is a conduit for love. And by letting go of things that are not serving love, we are coming back to that. And this is what my work is dedicated to. And Fire of Love will be a very powerful container for that. So if you're feeling it, we still have spots open. And men are welcome, women are welcome, couples are welcome. I start on the 20th of October, and the Erotic Heart is a part of that event as well. So if you're signing up, you're also joining the Erotic Heart. Okay, beautiful people. So the details, the training costs €3,400. The details of it are on my website. So just go to events, Fire of Love, and there you can fill in the application. We need to know you first before accepting you, and then we will fly together. Okay, beautiful ones. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the internet, or maybe in flash.